Well, MEPs have the final say. There will be no TTIP unless it is approved, ratified as it were, by the European Parliament. And that is the bottom line. MEPs use that bottom line to flag up now, already, ahead of the negotiations being completed, what they would find acceptable and what they would find unacceptable in such an agreement, so they can help shape the negotiations. TTIP is at the moment an ongoing negotiation that the optimists think might conclude within a year, and the pessimists say no, it's going to take much longer. So what does the European Parliament do in the meantime? It monitors the negotiations, notably through its Trade Committee. And this again is an opportunity for MEPs like myself to say, we won't accept an agreement if it includes this or that or something else. The devil will be in the detail. We'll have to look at it very carefully, but there are a number of concerns we have about this agreement. Flagging them up now is a way of making sure they don't happen.
The TTIP has enormous potential benefits, both for the United States and for the European economies. The goal of the agreement to remove restrictions on trade, unnecessary restrictions on trade, will potentially bring benefits to jobs, to consumers, and to businesses, particularly small and medium-sized businesses, which are the ones that struggle the most with differences in regulatory requirements on both sides of the Atlantic.
Well, we are opposed to TTIP. TTIP is going to be a disaster for public services. It could lead to the entrenchment of privatisation of services like the NHS. It will be terrible for jobs. We could be losing 660,000 jobs across the EU. It will be terrible for democracy as a whole, because the ISDS parallel court system that TTIP threatens to bring in could mean that we could be on the wrong side of cases like we saw in Egypt, where they're being sued for the minimum wage. We see Argentina being sued because they froze energy prices. We're seeing Canada sued because they decided to declare a moratorium on fracking in Quebec. And these kind of basic areas of public policy, these basic aspects of democracy, could be hugely undermined by TTIP, and that's why we're against it.
Yes, Chamber International is an organisation that represents British businesses in the region. Therefore, we look very much at the trade aspect of TTIP as opposed to all the other things, except some of the regulatory issues where there is this divergence. We would like to see them come together. We're certainly very much in favour of free trade, but our current view is that there are so many peripherals, and in fact the trade issue is comparatively small. We would like to see more focus on trade, get that sorted, and then the rest will follow.
Okay, so as Friends of the Earth, we're opposed to TTIP. We didn't start out that way. We started off concerned about TTIP, and we tried to input on the bits we were concerned about, but we didn't really get anywhere. So we moved over to opposing it, and along with much of Europe, actually, I think there's about 1.5 million people have signed a petition against it recently. As to why we're opposed to it, maybe, so we're opposed to it, one, because we think it will increase our dependence on fossil fuels. That's one of the key asks from the EU, for the US to export more shale gas and crude oil to the EU. We think that it could have put downward pressure on regulatory standards, both ones we already have, and also have a chilling effect on bringing in new positive ones to protect the environment in the future. And also we're concerned that investors will use the investment protection mechanisms within it to discourage governments from bringing in environmental regulation in the future by threatening very expensive lawsuits.